Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today, as promised, I am doing a part 2. This quarantine has my mind just gone. She's gone. Today I'm doing a update video, part 2 on my plants. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm just gonna go one by one again. I hope you guys liked the part 1, obviously, but I'm doing the part 2 whether you like it or not, basically. So I hope you guys are like rocking and rolling during this quarantine. It's week 3 for me and we have a whole month to go. You know, I don't mind it. I'm a bit of an introvert, so I like being home, but just not having the option to go out is a little sickening to my heart. But you know, we're all kind of semi-suffering / loving home time together, and hope you're all safe and healthy. And let's just distract ourselves with some plants. Okay, let's get into it then. So the lighting is a little different, I'm noticing, behind me because we rearranged our whole living room, and my cat, Wesley, he legit had a panic attack for a whole day. We got rid of this one chase lounge that was gross and he used to nap on it all the time, and we got rid of it, and he like could not handle it. He was like, where is it? He kept sniffing the same corner where it used to be, like just thinking it would magically appear. It was kind of sad, actually. I felt really bad, but he got over it. We had to like talk to him a lot. We talked him through it. We were like, look bud, it's outside on the sidewalk because it's trash. It was a little sad. He just keeps sitting in random locations, like in the middle of the floor throughout the apartment. And it's pretty funny, actually. But he's fine now. He sleeps all day again. He's back to normal. Sleeping and eating and a lot of pooping. My first plant, the rubber tree. She is very dusty all the time. It's like no matter how much I wash the leaves, dust every day, all day. I don't know. I don't want to use chemicals or just straight up alcohol and rub it on. I mean, I guess I could. Still, it's like no matter what I do, it's always dusty, but like, you know, whatever. She seems healthy, so it's fine. So she's been a real trooper lately. She always pushes out new leaves. She's very reliable in that respect. And I don't give her much. You know, like ficuses always get a really bad name. And while I have had very finicky ficuses, this one is pretty tough. I've kept her all over the apartment, in the front and the back. I mean, she can survive any kind of lighting setting, it seems like. Obviously, she does better in brighter light or some direct sun. But as you can see, there's like a little baby tree in there as well. That is just sprouting tiny little leaves. It's like barely a tree at all. And the leaves keep getting smaller and smaller, but I feel like this summer is when this plant will really shine, when the heat is like very extreme. So no matter what, this tree is pushing it out and doing well. So I'm happy with this tree. I wish I had a few more so I could fill it in a little more, but for now she is grand. All right, next up is my one and only true superstar plant, my Variegated Ficus. Ha! You can't even see her. Let me back up. Zoom in, back up. So this is her. She lives in my little basket. Yeah, she's a little large, so sorry, you can't get a full shot of her. I'll put her like back here. She looks really small now. She is just like really bulletproof. She barely drops any leaves. Like I've known people that have had this plant and they say like they have a huge problem with her dropping leaves, but this girl doesn't. You know, I think she's dropped 2 leaves since I've had her, and it's been almost a year now. I have little lights on her, just wait. You can't even see it. I turned them on and yeah, you legit can't tell. But these variegated leaves just keep getting more variegated. I have her in right next to the window, and I actually switched sides for most of my plants since we rearranged the living room. So she is now getting more and more variegated, which I'm really proud of. And just constantly through the tips of her branches, as you can see here, she's constantly pushing leaves out of the tips of her branches. And it's just really cool to witness. These leaves look super tiny when they first come out, but then they just keep growing and growing and growing until they're a full-grown leaf. And she has like tripled in size since I got her. I didn't even notice it until I looked at an old picture of her. And I was like, oh, snap, she's been getting thicker. Anyway, I've just been waiting until she's like bone dry to water her. And she seems to prefer that because she's constantly putting out leaves and very happy in my bright window. And just look at her. She's like a little tree in the house. Like it's really nice to have her. All right, my next plant and victim of the camera is one of my favorites. I'm obsessed with this plant and I have a problem. I can't ever just clip her and make more cuttings, so she's just like a massive plant now. But it is my Monstera and Pothos mixed in. But it's my Monstera Adansonii. So she has just been a real trooper. I moved her to the top of my fridge because it seemed like the light I had her in was a little overwhelming, so I brought her further back from the window. She has been loving it ever since. But let me like extend her. Look at that vine. Like, look at all that, you know? I tucked her hair up because it was getting a little bit in her eyes. So she has been obviously growing. And the leaves aren't getting very big, but I think that's pretty normal. This is kind of heavy, so I'm gonna... Okay, so that's her, and some Pothos mixed in there just because Pothos are always good mixer filler plants, you know? She's a good addition in the kitchen. I only worry that it's not quite enough light, but it's about 4 feet back from my south-facing window. So I'm hoping that's fine for her. I might end up moving her, we'll see, or propagating her. So I made a video about my next plant a long time ago, last year sometime. The mother plant was kind of drooping and seemed a little leggy and needed a new start. So I ended up clipping my Coleus. Look at all the roots in there, guys. I mean, Coleus don't mess around. She's just been blowing up ever since. Like, look how cute these leaves are. Just very green, very red. One of my favorite plants by far because it's just so bulletproof, so easy to propagate. Once I put it in dirt, it would just take off, like no problems. So that's my Coleus for now. She's in my kitchen window. Highly recommend getting Coleus cuttings at least because they look beautiful. And it has been in this bottle for months now and it's still fine. Fine. So my final plant for today is one of my favorites for shizzle. But this plant is one of the toughest plants I've ever known. The umbrella tree. Always pushing out these new little leaves. I don't know if you can see this tiny one. There's always like little tiny baby leaves coming through. She's directly in my south-facing window, so she gets tons of bright light. But tons of little baby leaves in here. I already see another one sprouting as well. I rotate her every week or so she gets even light from my south-facing window. And she gets dappled direct sun. And that seems to be doing so well for her because she is pushing out baby leaves like so much, like constantly throughout the year. And not picky at all. Like, she's very drought resistant as well because sometimes I'll forget to water her and I'll wait for her leaves to kind of start drooping a little bit and then I give her water. This is a fun plant to watch grow new leaves because it's such a process. It's like a little baby hand and then it just becomes a full human adult hand. Yeah, so that's my final plant. It's so heavy, I was like gasping for air that whole time. Oh, thank you. Those are all my other plants. Not all of them, but most of them. So far, no complaints. They're keeping me company in this weird time when I'm trapped at home, and I'm sure they're like, why is she here? This is weird. But I'm here to stay for a while, so get used to me, yeah. So I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please like, please comment. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.